the seat so we can see over the dash.
We're being live streamed, y'all.
We are. Yeah.
I'm about to replay the
Oh yeah, the announcements. Okay.
Yep. About
Okay.
to do that.
Go ahead and I'll silence and do that.
I think it's happening, y'all. Let me see. It says I'm live. Let's do it to it.
This is Chancellor Stephanie Leon Neal. So much has happened for the last several years in all of our lives. Outworn philosophies and doctrines pretending to be supportive for all are now being exposed under the light of the divine. Endless empty promises of ending injustices and lack have been broken for eons for the masses. It is time to lift your head and feel the warmth of the sun shining on all of us, not some of us. The beings of this blue planet are now seeing with crystal clear eyes. Young people rising up to make and take leadership positions, people from all races speaking out and organizing more than ever. Forgotten people are finally being seen. And additionally, children taking the reins and speaking out for their own survival. The masses have been stripped down to the point of realizing the only real earthly precept humans hold in their hand is a promise. There is a voice I know
I'm gonna go to
that lives inside everyone that can be heard over all the incessant noises of the day.
I'd rather go now than
It
later.
has always been with us. It is all our best moments in all of our lives, living within one concise voice, our power-filled voice, speaking to you, speaking through you, just like the goddess does. And you know, listening with a pure heart gains wisdom. And speaking with a pure heart brings light and hope to any injustice. The single precept you hold in your hand is a mirror reflecting the image of what is the promise. Turns out the promise is not a complete precept, but an eternal being that holds everything needed to change the world. You see, you are the eternal being, and you are the promise. You gave to yourself. You are the promise for your community, and you are the change and promise to the world. Go to one of your mirrors in the space you are presently residing, and with the pure strength of love, and love does have phenomenal strength, and your foundational will. See and believe what you are at this moment. This is a residing truth. You are the promise. In the past few months, you have seen several exciting changes, and we have more on the horizon honoring your unique path with us. In the past several years, much has been accomplished because of your remarkable works and your phenomenal gifts and your power-filled voices. And I thank you. May all blessings be revealed through you, and have a lovely Correllian tradition. Thank you.
Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis, and once again, we come together, the great Correllian family, to celebrate the lustration of the ancestors. We do this every year. We come from all around the world. We come from different cultures, we speak different languages, but we come together as a single family, united in spirit. Each year, we hold this ceremony and this weekend of celebration to honor our ancestors and our connection to them. For it is that that gives us our strength spiritually as we go forward as priesthood. They who built this road and still stand with us on this road, we honor them now, but we also honor all of us who stand together in the tradition, for truly in our tradition, those who are in the world of the living and those who are in this world of spirit are not separated, but stand together, hand in hand, one family between the worlds, in the world of the living, in the world of spirit, and between. This is our strength. The knowledge that we continue forever, and that our bond continues forever, and that death is but an illusion, and life in fact goes on. And we go on as ancestors when the time comes. And that bond is never erased. And as we go forward, we must remember that this is our strength, that we are a family, we are one family. No matter what culture we come from, no matter what language we speak, no matter whether we are living or in spirit, we are still one family, united hand in hand, and expressed in oh so many different ways. The beauty of our tradition is its variety and diversity, and the fact that we can be diverse and still all be Correllian. And it is the bond of love as a family that holds us together. And so as you go forward through this weekend, please remember that bond of love that we bear for all of ourselves in this tradition. And all the Correllians you meet, know that they are family. We are family. And that family only continues when we make our transitions. For me and Lady Crystal, who both stand with one foot now in the court of the ancestors, this is particularly poignant because it reminds us that when our transition has come about, we will still be here in this family. We will still be in this circle. And this will be true for you as well, as an ever-widening circle bound by the love of family. And so with that, I thank you for your kind attention, and may you bless it be.
To my beautiful Correllian family all around the world. Welcome to the Lustration of the Ancestors, year 23 Aquarius. Yay! Super happy to see you all. I'm very excited to kick off Lustration weekend. And I really want all of us this weekend especially to take some time to really come together as a family. I want us all to find renewed appreciation and love for each other and kindle new bonds as we grow. And lustration is always the time for that. It's always the time for family and for bonding. And I also want all of you to know how much you affect me, how much you affect my life, how much I deeply appreciate each one of you. And I also want you all to know how beloved you all are by the ancestors, how the ancestors truly are enjoying watching the expansion of our great family and the individual notes that you all add to this beautiful orchestra that we have created together, and how much the ancestors love how far we have come and how much we are growing and all that we are going to become. And I want us all to reflect on that throughout this whole weekend as we grow deeper together and closer. My love to you all. And again, welcome to Lustration.
You heard?
Oh,
Are you going to Walmart?
yeah, well,
Could you
okay, what?
pick up some of this paper?
Somewhat?
Some of this paper?
What paper?
I'm trying to look. Thing right there. There.
What is that paper for?
Some of those brochures.
How many are you making?
I'm just making the last 5 out of what I had.
How many did you make?
Well, 4, but I probably made more than that.
It's your boy, Reverend Phoenix Coffin-Williams, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful Coffin-Williams.
I just want to make sure you know what it was.
My place, you know. It blows my mind that I am coming to you opening the global lustration of the ancestors for 2023 as your first priest. Never would have imagined that this is what was being cooked up for me all those years ago when I was studying late, practicing my exercises, being confused on how to apply certain lessons to my life experience, making relationships, deciding whether or not I wanted to be a part of a Wiccan church at all. All of it is coming to my mind right now during this particular lustration celebration. And I will share a story with you. My first ever lustration was the investiture of Lady Stephanie Leon Neal, currently our first priestess and chancellor, y'all. That was my first ever lustration. It was in Jacksonville, Florida, and I want to say it was hosted by Compassion League, which is Lady Angela Munn's temple. Lady Angela Munn hosted a beautiful lustration weekend. Things were glorious. We were well fed. Everyone got along nicely, it seemed. Lady Angela was sick as a dog, though. And she was pretty ill. She was pretty ill for that weekend. I remember that. But it was my first time meeting a lot of people face to face in the church, part of the Correllian Church. I stayed in Lady Lori Denman's home with Lord Jason and Lord Don, and who else was there? I can't remember who else was there. But I remember that was, my first like experience coming to a lustration. It was 7 years ago. I drove down from Buffalo with Lady Kai and her husband and her 2 children. And that was a hoot and a half on the way down and back. I ended up taking 3 days off from work. But surprise, I ended up becoming ill upon returning home. And so I had an extra day off from work because of the gift that keeps on giving. The investiture of Lady Stephanie is something that I will never forget, but I'm not going to talk about because I love that memory so much that I kind of want to keep that personal for now. But that was my first step into lustration. Since then, it has been a 3-day celebration, 3 days off from work, no matter where it's located. If it's located in Connecticut, which is the one that was done by Lady Alyssa, who is now our first elder, I'm still taking 3 days off. It only took me 6 hours to get there. Still taking 3 days off. If it's North Carolina, which is Lady Lori Blackman's lustration, don't care. Still 3 days. Out of there Sunday, a few minutes after the lustration ritual for the long road back home. But this has become a regular part of my life every single year. And I'm super happy for the opportunity to serve in support of the church and the legacy that has come out of me attending lustrations. For me, it's been a time to get away from home. So these virtual ones for me were a particularly hard adjustment. However, I do acknowledge that they were absolutely necessary. And I personally, in an act of cautious, calculated, and kind of blessed mischief, accounted for that by hosting lustrations myself regionally in Buffalo as a way of rebelling against not being able to meet with everyone else. That's how important getting away from lustrations become. And when that happens, I take the time off from work too. In addition to getting away from home, connecting with people who believe similarly to me and who love in similar ways that I love in is a hallmark, absolutely. But there's also a sense of renewal. There's a sense of actualized faith. So being around people and praying with them, which is absolutely apparent in our virtual lustrations, is a really tangible energy that comes from this weekend that I really hope everyone gets to experience. For people who have been a part of the church and clergy and the tradition for a very long time, when we come to lustration, we get the opportunity to see the future. People who have been studying all year long or who have been studying for multiple years and who are ready to take their vows for initiation get to see their dreams come true. They get to see a promise actualized, and they get to make a real life promise and make a real life tangible connection with the spirits and the energies that they have been working with for their entire degree program or their studies. People who are just starting their studies who come to lustration get to see the promise of their hard studies fulfilled when they get to realize that other people are going off and they're being secluded away for their lustration, or excuse me, for their initiation times. And so for those of us who facilitate initiations, it's a chance for us to reaffirm our vows and our promises to our higher selves, to our patrons and spirit guides, and to our tradition. It's a beautiful time to come and receive this blessing by water. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here with y'all, you all, each of you. Thing. So when I host lustrations in Buffalo, I usually squeeze in 1 or 2 unscheduled events that are referred to as Lustration Unplugged. These are a little bit different. They're way informal. Sometimes there's even fire spinning and, shots involved. So keep a lookout for how that might show up in the schedule for this lustration. I look forward to talking to y'all, to getting to know y'all, to share and pray with y'all, and to acknowledge, support, and uplift the connection that we have with the divine as we continue in the triumphs and the struggles of doing this great work. I love you all so much, and have a beautiful lustration of the ancestors. I think that's it for now. So if you excuse me, I think the ancestors have some teaching for me to go and get. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. But I will see y'all throughout this entire weekend, all right? Blessed be. Wait. Before I go, I got some news about our cousins at the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. And when I heard it, it got me to thinking that everything that was going on with Reverend Don and hearing this news about Reverend Dusty Dion and the moment that he's having, it's gotten me thinking, maybe I'll ask that we pray to uplift these two leaders specifically. And if you got time and room, uplift man or male leaders in general. Reverend Dusty, should your higher self and your gatekeepers choose to accept it, I pray for your wellness and your well-being. I remember that you have always been kind to me and nice to me and a friend to me, and I do look forward to hearing of your recovery. And I do look forward to having a meal with you at the Parliament of World Religions in August. I pray that you are well and comfortable. I pray that those who are caring for you are astute and are all in their best minds. I pray that you know that you are loved the world over. So mote it be.
Ew.